Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Anderson, and I'm one of the counselors at Harlem High School. We are so excited to welcome the class of 2026, and we can't wait to meet you. One of the first steps on your high school journey is to choose classes for next year, as well as choosing a career endorsement and pathway. We encourage you to take time in doing this, so please do not wait until the last minute to fill out this Google form. Make sure that you watch the videos provided for you, as well as take time to look through your Career Pathways guidebook before you start filling out this form. We recommend having your course catalog as well as your Pathways guidebook handy while you're filling out this Google form. Okay, let's get started. The first thing you need to do is use the Google form link that is provided for you and make sure you're logged in with your Harlem ID. I've already used the Google form link, and as you can see here, it shows that I'm logged in and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to hit next. So there's a lot of important information on this page, and so please make sure you're taking time to read it carefully. There's information about the course catalog, the Pathways Guide, as well as information about schedule changes and class requests up at the high school. We also, again, encourage you to choose your electives carefully and in order of importance, with your number one choice being the one you want the most. Also, you will have until Monday, February 7th to submit this form. Once you click submit at the end, you won't be able to fill out another form online, but you will be able to edit your responses until the February 7th. After that, you'll need to email your counselor at the high school if you have any changes you want to make, and it's okay to make changes if you need to. When you're thinking about what classes to choose next year, you have lots of good resources right nearby. You have your counselor at the middle school that you can talk to. You have your teachers, who are excellent resources for helping you make some of your choices, as well as your family. Think about your career choices, your college's requirements for colleges you may be interested in going to, as well as your current interests. There's also sometimes other requirements that colleges and universities have, in addition to our Harlem graduation requirements, so you'll want to check into those as well. We are also giving you information about the Rock Valley College's Running Start program. This is a highly competitive program that you'll have the opportunity to apply for your junior and senior year if you qualify. And in this program, juniors and seniors go to Rock Valley full-time to earn their associate's degree. You also will have the opportunity to take articulated credit courses next year through Rock Valley College, as well as dual credit courses in the future. So if these are of interest to you, please make sure you read this part carefully. Now, this information is so important that we felt we needed to do a little quiz at the bottom. So at the bottom, you're going to fill out a little quiz to make sure that you've read everything carefully. So I'm not going to show you my answers to the quiz. I'll let you put in your answers, and then once I put in my answers, I'm going to hit next. So I'll meet you back on the next page in a few minutes. All right, well, I hope you did well on your quiz. So on this page, we're going to ask you to put in your first name and last name, and then hit next. So on this page, we're going to talk about what career field you're planning on going into after high school. We know that you still have lots of time to make many of these decisions, but we're interested in your plans right now. Some of you might know exactly what you want to do, while others are still thinking about it. So give us as much information as you have. Maybe you know exactly the career choice that you want to do, or maybe you just know the area. Maybe you're not quite sure what you want to do, but you know you want to do something in the business field or something in the healthcare field. Include all of that information here. This will give your counselor good information about how to help you in choosing classes and making sure you're in the classes that are going to help you reach your career goals. I'm going to write nurse as my career choice because I think it's a great career field to go into. And then I'm going to hit next. Now, this year we are asking you to choose a career endorsement as well as a pathway. We understand that you're still thinking about what you want to do after high school, but we're interested in knowing where you're at right now with that. Please know that if you choose an endorsement area or pathway and change your mind later, you can do that. All you have to do is let your counselor at the high school know that you've decided to do a different endorsement area or pathway, and we can always make that change for you. So nothing is set in stone. As I look at the endorsement areas, there are 5 options. You could see those right here. I'm going to choose the one that's closest to what I want to do being a nurse. So, as I look at the different areas, it seems like the science, mathematics, health, and wellness area would be the one that would fit closest to the nursing field. So, as I scroll down here to choose an endorsement area, I'm going to choose that one. And then I'm going to hit the next button. So on this screen, you're going to choose the career pathway that goes along with the endorsement area that you just chose. So on the drop box are the different career pathways that go along with endorsement area number 2. If I look at this, I see that I think health sciences is the closest to nursing. So I'm going to choose that one. If I wasn't sure which area to go to, I could always go up here to my pathways guide to look through all the information that it provides about pathways and endorsement areas. So don't forget about that resource that you have just at the top of the screen. I also want to say that if you get to this screen and you realize, oh, I picked the wrong endorsement area, you can always go back. You would just hit the back button and you would go down to the bottom. And if you needed to pick a different endorsement area, you could do that. And then you would just hit next and you would be able to choose the correct career pathway. So you can always go back and make a change if you need to. So I'm going to stick with health sciences though, and then I'm going to hit next. So we're going to go ahead and moving towards choosing our core classes. So for English next year, you're going to you'll have a choice between English 9 and Honors English 9. So if you're not sure which one of those would be best for you, this would be a great conversation to have with your current English teacher. They would be the best person to talk to about which class would be the best option for you. Now, knowing that English 9 would maybe move at a little bit of a faster pace and the material might be a little bit more difficult, so if you're up for that challenge, this would be a great class to take. I think I'm going to go ahead and choose Honors English 9 for next year and then hit next. So for science, you'll be able to choose between biology, which is also known as modern biology in the course catalog, or honors biology. Both will meet your biology requirement for graduation. So again, you can decide whether you want to take a biology class or have the challenge of the honors biology class. I think I'm going to choose biology and then hit next. So for social studies next year, you're going to be able to choose between Contemporary World Studies, which we also call CWS, or Advanced Placement, or AP Human Geography. This is your first opportunity to take an advanced placement class. AP classes are like honors classes in that they move at a faster pace, but for AP classes, at the end of the year, you also take the AP test. You can score anywhere from a 5 to a 1 on the test, with 5 being the highest. And depending on how you do on the test, you may be able to earn college credit for that class. So again, you'll have other opportunities in the future, but AP Human Geography is your first opportunity to take an AP class. So if you're interested in seeing what a college level class is like, you might want to choose AP Human Geography. And I think I'm up for that challenge. So I'm going to choose AP Human Geography and then click Next. And then finally, you're going to choose a math class for next year. Now, the math class that you take next year will depend on the math class you're taking this year. So, for example, it says you must pass algebra before taking geometry, and you must pass geometry before taking algebra 2. So, if you're in Math 8 this year, you will be choosing Algebra 1. If you're in Algebra 1 this year in 8th grade, then you will choose geometry or honors geometry next year. If you're in geometry this year, then you would choose Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2 next year. So again, your current math teacher will be a good resource for you in helping to make sure you're on the right path for math. I'm going to choose Algebra 1 because if I was in Math 8 this year, I would be choosing Algebra 1. So I'm going to make my math choice and click Next. Finally, we're going to choose elective classes for next year. Electives are all the other classes you can take that are not required for graduation. Most of the classes in the course catalog are elective classes. This page lists all of the classes that you can choose from to take next year. All of your choices are listed here under different department areas like art, business, science, career and technical education, English, social studies, etc. I encourage you to take time to look through this list and maybe even make a list for yourself of the classes you really want to take and the ones you want to take the most. When it comes down to your elective choices, you need to make sure to fill out each of the spots, all 10 spots. This is where the course catalog, which I have right up here, really comes in handy because you can look through course descriptions and even click on the links to the videos about the different departments as well as classes. And so this is a great time to learn more about some of the classes on this list. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of them myself and think about the choices that I want to put down here as my elective choices. You need to list 10 elective choices in the order of preference. So that means your number one choice is the elective that you want to take the most. So think about your career choices, the classes that are going to help you get there. And then again, use your resources of talking to teachers, counselors, and family members about the classes that might be best for you. So, even though world language is not required for graduation, I am thinking about going to college after high school. And some colleges do want to see students take 2 years of a world language. So, we offer German and Spanish at the high school. So, I think I'm going to take German 1 and put that down as my first choice. Now, for my second choice, I am thinking about the nursing field. So, I think orientation to health occupations would be a great first class to take on my career path for nursing. Now, I also really like art, and so Introduction to Art is the prerequisite class. So, again, that's a class you need to take before you take other classes. That's a prerequisite class for all the other art classes. So, that would be a good one to take freshman year as well. So, I'm going to continue to look through my list and fill out the rest of my choices, and I'll meet you back in a minute. Okay, so I've taken some time to look through the electives up here. And then I've filled out all of my elective choices down here with my first choice being the one I want the most. Please keep in mind that once you put these elective choices down, any of these classes might show up on your schedule next year. Even if it's your 10th choice, sometimes your last choice is on your schedule. So once you're satisfied with your elective list, then you would hit next and go to the next screen. So the first thing you're going to do is put the best phone number to contact you in case we have any questions. And then the last question talks about whether or not you speak another language at home. And this relates to the seal of biliteracy, which is an opportunity that you would have if you speak another language at home besides English to earn a seal of biliteracy on your diploma. And that is an award that's approved by the Illinois State Board of Education, and it's given to your school district to recognize students who have studied and attained high levels of proficiency in one or more languages in addition to English. So it's a statement of accomplishment that would be an asset when applying for college admission or employment. So if you do speak another language at home besides English, then you would click yes if you'd like, and then hit the next button. And then you would list what language you spoke at home, and then whether or not you're interested in getting more information about how to earn a seal of biliteracy on your diploma. Now I'm going to go back for a moment. If you do not speak another language at home, then you would click no and then next. And then that would take you to the last screen. So we are almost finished with completing our Google form. So finally, if you have any comments or questions, this is a great place to ask. Maybe you had a question that came up while you were filling out the form. If so, please feel free to write it here and we will work with your counselors at the middle school to make sure we answer all of your questions. I don't have any questions right now, so I'm going to leave it blank. I feel good about my class choices, so I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. And that's it. You've submitted your Google form and your course selections for next year. Now, if it's before February 7th and you want to make changes to your form, you would just hit edit your response and you can go back through your form to make any changes that you would like to your Google form. If you need to make any changes to to your course selections or endorsement areas or pathways after February 7th, please contact your counselor at the high school and we will be happy to help you with doing that. So again, let me be one of the first to welcome you to Harlem High School. We are so excited to meet you next year, and we are really looking forward to being with you on your high school journey. Have a good day.